And honestly, it kind of hurts. That's because I'm a sneakerhead, like an actual real deal sneakerhead since maybe 2010, 9 ish, but around middle school or so. As you can see in this room, this has been my sneaker palace haven for quite some time now, and it's gone through a lot of changes. But even with my fashion style changing or whatever I'm interested in, shoes have always held a special place with me, and they will continue to. But the reason I'm getting rid of my shoe collection is because I'm about to make the switch to barefoot shoes primarily slash only. And when I make that switch, most of these shoes in this closet I'm not going to be able to wear. And then on top of that, we're talking about money, sell the shoes so you can buy some more shoes. I can't really tell you how I even found out about barefoot shoes, but I'm pretty sure it was the internet. And as I was scrolling through doing my research, the idea of them sounded really good to me. I was reading the health benefits. For those of you who don't know, which is probably all of you, I do have some problems with my hips and other health stuff, and it seemed like barefoot shoes could help. And when I heard about those benefits, I wanted to try out a barefoot shoe, but I did not want to overcommit. And these is what I decided to purchase. And honestly, I'm surprised that I went with a shoe with all this silver on the black instead of just a solid shoe for my first one. And for those that don't know, I'm going to quickly explain what a barefoot shoe is. It typically has three qualities. The toe box is going to be wider and more foot shaped, so it's not scrunching your toes together. The second is a zero drop sole, which means it's the same thickness from the back all the way to the front. The third is that the sole has to be really flexible. That way it doesn't inhibit the way your foot is supposed to move. I grabbed these Superstars just for comparison. This toe box is a little bit more forgiving, but it is very hard. This one is not a zero drop sole because it's thicker in the back, slimmer in the front. Honestly, that's just most modern shoes, so your foot is kind of always on an angle. And then most soles are not very flexible. They'll have a little bit of bend right around the toe region, but the back is stiff. So after wearing these for a while and really enjoying those benefits, I realized I'm gonna have to actually commit to wearing this kind of shoe only. Reason being is when you jump back and forth between like your modern shoes and this, it's like it cuts off the progress, your feet can't breathe. And the more that I wear these, the more my toes are probably gonna spread out. And then when I put it back into a tighter shoe, it's gonna hurt even more than they already did prior to wearing these. Now, I will say, I'm still a sneakerhead. And even if I can't wear these shoes, some of the really good ones I'm not selling. There's just no way. Even if I just got to keep them on display for me to look at or just wear on an occasion and don't care about my feet hurting, that's what I'm about to do. So while I have you here, I figured let's go ahead and look at a couple of the shoes that are definitely going and ones that I'm definitely keeping. Now, these Wells Bonner shoes were one of the first ones I knew had to go. One, I just wasn't getting that much wear out of them. Two, the narrowness of this shoe goes against what I'm trying to switch to anyway. And there's just not much sentimental value. Like, this is more of a recent cop. And yeah, I just don't need them. So these definitely got to go. And then I'm going to go ahead and say most of the stuff on this top shelf is on the top shelf for a reason. It's staying right where it's at. These Margiela speed bike boots from 2009, I'm keeping. This was literally my first designer shoe, and it's like archived technically, I guess. They're just so unique. You don't see them online that often. Funny enough, maybe a couple months ago, I almost sold these. I took pictures of them and everything, and then at the last second, I was like, no. Well, actually, no. I think I did put them up, and nobody wanted them, and I said, oh, you know what? Perfect. I didn't want to sell them anyway. I know this is supposed to be a sneaker video, but whatever. We're starting with designer. These are probably going to have to go. For a moment, I was thinking about keeping them, but I just can't wear them. Like, even right now, they're hard to put on. Well, hard to wear. They're cool. I love the color. They're mainline Ricks. But if I sell these, I could probably get like 4 shoes or something like that. So they got to go. I don't know if y'all heard of the brand Collegium, but as you can see, I kind of was really liking them. It's an independent brand from Cali, and they make their own shoes out of Italy. Like, they're just really cool. But the problem is they hurt my feet. If I can't wear them, they got to go. There's just no point of holding on to stuff. But they are cool. And sadly, because they're a small brand, there isn't much resale value. So I'm going to get pennies on the dollar for these. My lost and found Chicago's, probably going to keep. One, okay, yeah, it's like a modern shoe, but I've worn them so much that they feel a little looser. And then also Chicago's, like, I've been wanting Chicago's since 2013, I want to say. So once I got these, they're just they can't go anywhere. I gotta keep them. These I'll probably keep because they're my favorite Air Jordan and probably my favorite colorway of my favorite Jordan. They need a reglue, but I'm probably not gonna be wearing them anyway. So yeah, these keep and these I'll sell. I bought these right before the Mastro hype really took off. And I thought that I could sell them easily. No, nobody really cares. They'd rather buy the new ones. But these gotta go. Now, if this was a barefoot shoe, if this was a shoe that fit my foot and was like wide at the top, I would be wearing these 24/7. Action Bronson, you did a great job on these shoes, but they probably gotta go. And then finally, let me show off my Strictly Heaters Never Letting Go because they have super sentimental value. 2010 pearls with the original box and the original receipt. If y'all wear foams, y'all know foams ain't that comfortable unless you like really beat them and wear them in. But this is not meant for my journey going forward, but they will continue to be a trophy of my closet. I'll just, you know what? I'll just give y'all a little bit of a longer look on these because this is an amazing shoe. I think they're coming back out this year too, but I don't need a cover. I know what you're thinking. What is sentimental about a SB Jordan 4? Well, back in high school when I was really in the buy sell trade game because that was the only way you could get shoes, I wore a lot of SBs to the point that my nickname at school and in the area was SB. I know that sounds crazy, but it just wasn't a lot of people wearing SBs in the exact area I was. And sadly, when I was going through my fashion pivot, I sold every single pair of SBs I have. A couple years later, Travis Scott, Lil Yachty started buying up every pair of old SBs that I used to wear back in the day and made the prices skyrocket. So these are officially the only pair of SBs that I own and my only connection to SBs still. So I was just really happy that I was able to get something like this that kind of remind me of that old nickname in the old sneaker days. Although it's not a dunk, I'll take it. So I got a bunch of other shoes, but these are the ones that stick out to me in front of me. Some of them are spread around this house. Some of them are under a bed all over the place. So I'm going to have to do a little bit of digging and a lot of listing shoes online unless I can get somebody to do a bulk buy, which would be cool. But aside from that, I will keep y'all updated on this barefoot journey. I have a lot of shoes I plan on copying as soon as I sell these. And actually, I have one pair already on the way. And I will do a video about those when they arrive. Probably next week because I think that's when they arrive. Aside from that, I hope you liked the video and the change of scenery. And yeah, follow me on Instagram when it pops up after this.